Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Toonami Squad Sessions podcast. I'm your host, Sam at Samster299, and this is episode 50, by the way. Ooh.
Only
Uh,
19 more episodes till 69.
Hell
Nice.
yeah,
Oh
nice.
my god.
Nice.
So, with me today, we have Phantom,
Hello.
we have the other Sam,
Hi there.
we have Logan,
Yo.
we have Eric once again coming out from the grave.
So I have been in the loop. So is that episode 69? Is that the shirtless episode?
Yes.
I mean, I will be shirtless, but I will not be on camera. So
we
you
will
have to subscribe to my OnlyFans for that, okay?
we will have a special watch party at Kiss Sis and invite Andre.
Oh, come on. I don't want to deal with pain.
God.
All right, and one other member is here today. Someone who hasn't seen the light of day in a podcast in a long time. Welcome, Steven.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's weird being back, but it's great. It's nice to be back.
The band
And
is
it's
kind of back
weird now.
together. Woo.
Yeah, it's weird because now I'm technically interim CEO now.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow. Nice.
Yeah, because Silver's kind of on hiatus, so yeah, I'm the guy in charge now. It's surprise.
Everyone riot! Everyone riot!
Okay, so can I get a pay raise?
No.
Power
Hey, we got paid? We get paid here?
Guys, as one of the original members, you know the paychecks. It's $0. It's $0, and then times each year passes.
Sam, the only
You
thing
know how
I'm
it
gonna
goes. It's been
Sam.
like that since the beginning, the inception.
Sam, the only thing I'm gonna pay you in is soft serve vanilla ice cream.
I'm gonna kill you.
Or chocolate ice
Let's
cream.
not bring that up in a podcast. All right. So
See, they get it. You guys won't. Let's just say
Well, let's just leave it there.
things. Some
let's
things
just
shouldn't
leave
be
it there.
discussed. We're just gonna leave it there.
anyway, so there's been a lot of news
lot.
recently for Toonami. We've actually had to delay this twice just for this news, and thank God we did. But of course, we gotta start off with our humble topic of what are we watching. I don't know, like Steven's the only one who doesn't know. I don't know if he's seen the recent episodes, but we like to discuss what we are watching as of now, or anything. It doesn't have to just be anime. Sometimes it could be movies or other TV shows or whatever. So of course I'll go first. So I haven't recently, just because I've been too busy, and also for another reason. I've been watching Death Note.
Good show.
Yeah, good show. I don't know. I like the beginning and the second portion, but I don't know why, but I'm just trying to force myself to continue on. I don't know, it's
How
'cause,
far
right-
are you in it? How far are you in it?
well, it's them against this Japanese company, this business corporation,
Hmm.
and one of the tycoons has a death note, and he forgot that he's the one. Light forgot that he's the one that's murdering people, but shit's getting weird with all of a sudden his girlfriend now had she doesn't remember the Shinigamis, but she can see them again because I forgot her name.
Misa.
But yeah, Miso. So far it's good, but I'm actually kind of struggling to continue on. Also that could be a thing of me getting burnt out on reacting to stuff, because usually when I watch stuff I reacted for these guys. But yeah, there's that. What else have I been seeing recently? Oh, well, I've also been on a mission. I don't want to say a mission, but a goal to watch a bunch of cult classic anime movies and films. because I've always heard about like these movies and always heard people talk about them, but the only anime movies I've seen were just based off other shows, like a Dragon Ball movie or a My Hero. So I popped my cherry with a couple of fan favorite films. Akira, enjoyed that. I saw Your Name. Why is that bowl of onions here? I saw Weathering with You. Why is that bowl of onions here?
I actually like that movie.
I saw Silent Voice. Why is that bowl of onions here?
Noticing a theme here.
That's sad. What other movies I've seen? It was those. Akira. I guess I just haven't seen it in a minute. Other than that, I've just been keeping up to date on the current shows, new My Hero episodes, but I won't go into that since it's on Toonami already. Trigun, I've been seeing that. That's really good.
The new Trigun or the old Trigun?
The new Trigun. I haven't seen the old one, and I know that's a sin to say. I'll get to that one of these days. What else? New Vinland Saga episodes. Watch Vinland Saga, they're really good. Other than that, I've been watching That 90s Show. If anyone, y'all have seen That 70s Show, of course, like the sequel.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'm kind of curious on seeing more, but like, I don't know, it hasn't hooked me as like 70s Show has done. I mean, that could also be my nostalgia, wanting to see more of the OG members. Like some of the old cast members do make a couple cameos in some episodes, but like I don't know, like. So there's that. What else? I saw something else. Was it on Netflix? There was That 90s Show, and God, it's been a minute. It was another. Oh yes, I saw Ant-Man last night. Spoiler-free thought, like very brief. It feels not really a movie that stand on its own. It feels more like a huge setup. Like this just feels like all one big setup movie for like future events. I mean, like as a movie, it's okay on its own. Like it's not terrible, but like not really. Oh, and that reminds me too. Like so yeah, Ant-Man was okay. I didn't love it, but it's all right. But like I said, this just feels like one big movie to set up, like a setup plot, just to set up later stuff. One other thing I actually saw in theaters, and it was a good thing you reminded me, Phantom. I wasted money on the latest Sword Art Online movie.
Oh man!
Congratulations, Samsy. You played yourself.
Sure, so of a Deep Night. Like, it's not bad. It's so, in the words of the Kiss stan, it's mid as all hell. It feels like a 24-minute episode stretched into a feature-length film.
Sounds like Sword Art.
So, like, I find it fast. Like, I like the first movie of this reboot series. I enjoyed, but it's like they're going at the first arc again at such a slow pace, like straight up. And then not only that, but then like there was a gap in time between this movie and the last one, and like the last movie teases like a new character that you probably see in the new movie. Well, that character is in the other movie, but they act like they already know her. Apparently, they just met her off screen, and it's just like, okay, I guess we're just supposed to know who she is, unless like the manga or the light novel version touches on that more. It's just like, really. And then not only that, but like it just feels like it goes so slow, because the first movie was like first floor of SAO. The second movie is all just floor 5 of SAO. And we still haven't gotten the Morgan Freeman approved moment yet. I'm pissed. I want my money back.
Yeah.
Eric probably doesn't get that. I'm not gonna explain it here.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Yes. One other big complaint.
Nod and laugh.
One other big complaint that I actually had, and this wasn't the only case. Whenever there was like text or like any sort of thing that you had to read, there was no on-screen translation. And apparently, from what I heard the next day, it turns out I don't know who screwed up over on the Crunchy side, but like I guess someone forgot to put the on-screen translations on, because if you were watching this movie subtitled, there were no subtitles. And I'm just like, this is Crunchy, the Sony Crunchy. It was like, y'all can put so much money in a freaking Game Boy game, but you can't put money in the basic ass translation or to prevent whatever the hell happened here. But yeah. Anyway, that's it from me. What about you, Phantom?
Oh, I've watched so many stuff in between episodes and my break. I did finish Bleach and the Thousand Blood War, butchering the name, but the new Bleach.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Really enjoyed it. Really liked the animation.
I still
Oh yeah, I've been watching The Last of Us.
Oh, I can't believe Last of Us. I can't believe Last of Us is good.
Yes, it is actually. Pedro Pascal's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like if you ignore all the circle jerking these companies do on the series, it's actually a pretty good show, and a good game too. But don't ask about the second game though.
Yeah.
I don't plan to.
I say that as I sip tea.
Yeah.
That's not my business. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I've watched that at least 6 or 7 times.
Oh wow.
I really enjoyed that. And recently I started watching the new Moon Girl show on Disney Plus. Pretty good. I don't really have anything else to add to any of the shows. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting. But yeah, that's basically everything except for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I did watch that recently.
All right. What about you, Sam? Sam one.
So I also have been watching The Last of Us, although I only saw the first episode. I still need to get caught up with that.
Oh man.
I will say
I already know what's gonna happen in the fucking show.
Well, they do change up a bit.
But it's still the same outline. I already know how season 1's gonna end.
But they do change up stuff a little bit where the show does catch you by surprise, which I do appreciate.
Okay.
I agree with Eric. I mean, it's still the same basic plot as Sam says, but they do change some stuff around.
But other than that, I don't know if I talked about this in the last podcast. I don't remember. I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen. It's okay. It's fine.
It will never be on Toonami.
Yeah, well, of course. They only pick up high quality shows, not mid shit. Anyway.
Okay, Andre.
As far as other things, I also have been checking out Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which I love. I love the art style, love the characters in that. It's a really good show. Other than those, I'm also watching a docu-series on YouTube hosted by Double Fine about the making of Psychonauts 2. It's a very long docu-series. I think it's like 34 parts, and I'm on like episode 16. Wow. And these episodes go on for a long time, but I love docu-series like this because I love learning about behind the curtains and how the sausage is made for games and movies and TVs, because it's always fascinated me about how this stuff is made. So other than those, I haven't really been watching a whole lot because I've been busy with a lot of other things.
All right. What about you, Logan?
So I haven't been watching a whole lot. I mean, mostly because I've been busy working like usual. But I did start watching the dub for Gundam Witch from Mercury.
Thanks, Crunchy.
Great show. Great show.
Yeah, just like random drop, no freaking news whatsoever. They just dropped a prologue out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Thanks, Crunchy.
I thought we got a leak that it was supposed to come to Toonami. What the heck happened there? Come on.
DeMarco will be seething.
Fucking corn cob. And that's right. If for some reason he's listening to this, you are a corn cob.
Eric, edit that out.
Don't edit that out. I will kill you. But yeah, I watched the prologue episode. I was going to start watching episodes 1 and 2, but they announced that there was going to be a delay on the simuldub. I think there were like a handful of shows. I think the Crunchy Studios in Texas, because there's the delay on anime episodes coming out of Japan because of COVID delays, and then Crunchyroll had a delay on a handful of their simuldubs. I think because they had a COVID outbreak in Texas too.
So I don't think it was COVID outbreak. It had to do with the weather. That there was
that's okay. That's right. That's what it was. It was the weather. But yeah. So since they delayed it, I was like, you know what? There was like a month and a half or 2 months between the prologue and the first episode airing in Japan. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait until they're actually resuming the dub production and it's coming out weekly. And then I'll start episode 1 and I'll probably just stay a couple weeks behind so that if for some reason there is another gap, then I will have a couple of episodes to catch up with. So, but I did end up liking that. Other stuff, I watched the first episode of season 3 of Star Trek Picard. Seasons 1 and 2 suck. Season 3 is actually good, but it's only 1 episode in, so they have 9 episodes to completely fuck it up. So we'll see what happens.
I've heard the same.
Yeah, that sounds so disappointing too. Because if you're a Picard fan, like you would imagine that they put all the stops for that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, season 1 wasn't the worst. Like the ending was a little weird, but it wasn't terrible. Season 2, the first episode was great. Like, honestly, very solid episode. And then everything went to shit until the last, 10 or 15 minutes of episode 10. So,
season 1 lost me. I watched the entire first season, and it just lost me at the end. I thought it ended on such a bad note. They set up and everything.
They have literally not addressed any, they mention it once or twice in season 2, and they have not mentioned it at all in season 3, but again, we're only 1 episode in, so
that's Kurtzman for you.
The nice thing is it doesn't seem like you need to know anything from the first 2 seasons, and they're bringing back the entire Next Generation cast, so it's like, all right, maybe this will actually be good. I mean, like I said, 1 episode in, it's good. 9 episodes to fuck it up, we'll see what happens. But beyond that, I'm seeing Ant-Man on Sunday, and that's about it. Otherwise, I'm deeply, deeply into Urusei Yatsura Hell because we've got 3 more sets to release and 2.5 more that I have to work on. So,
have fun. All right. What about
the more Hamtaro though?
All right, Steven. What about you?
All right. So I'll start with something I actually watched in the summer. I ended up watching all of OG Bleach, the canon episodes, in 2 months.
Oh my
wow.
Yeah, it was insane. I somehow did it just to catch up for the new season.
Well, it was also because there was a scare.
Let's give a round of applause for that one.
Yeah.
That's a gauntlet test right there.
He skipped the filler episode, so he basically saved himself from
Oh, okay.
Was it the Bont arc? I think the Bont arc was a filler arc.
It was.
Well, it was also because I remember this. Originally, Hulu and OG Bleach on Hulu was going to expire.
Yeah, they were going to remove it
2 weeks. So Steven essentially had to speed run.
I hauled ass. When I saw that, I hauled ass and just went. I even watched episodes on a plane to North Carolina because I did a trip down there.
Nice.
And then they never ended up removing it because later
Yep,
would
still
we
worth it
find
though.
out.
Still worth it. But yeah, anyway, what I'm actually watching right now. So, should be obviously watching the new My Hero. It's weird seeing that as a manga reader as well. So it's been good so far. Other than that, I'm watching too many shows with my busy schedule. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. But yeah, I'm obviously watching Trigun Stampede. Very surprised by it because I had very high expectations, and so far it has met and sometimes even exceeded those expectations. I'm also watching Blue Lock as well, and it was honestly kind of perfect timing because it released during the World Cup, so it got a ton of hype thanks to that, especially because Japan made a run to the round of 16, like a miracle run, like they won their group. It was great. So Blue Lock just took off. What else am I watching? I'm also watching Tokyo Revengers, the new season of that. It's all right. It's all right. Takemichi's an idiot, but it's all right. Vinland Saga as well. Sam, you're welcome for getting you into that.
Yep.
Also watching the new season of To Your Eternity, aka Pain the Anime. It is still very painful, yet it is still very good. I'm also watching the new season of Bungo Stray Dogs, because, I don't know, it's something to watch. And just because I wanted something new, I picked up High Card as well. It's alright. It's nothing special, like nothing that we haven't seen before, but it's alright. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I'm watching right now.
All right, and we leave it to you, Eric.
Oh my god. Well, as I mentioned before, I've been watching The Last of Us, which has been good for has been a good experience for the most part. I do have some nitpicky stuff. I feel like I like some of the changes, but some of the other changes as well. I'm not sure how I think about. I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it a few more times to really get it in and really solidify how I feel about it. But for the most part, I do know there's some controversy surrounding it at times, but even especially the one controversial episode, I thought it was good.
That episode was amazing.
I thought it was a good change, keeping the spoilers to a minimum. Personally, I liked both interpretations at the end of the day. Considering how the video game did it and how the show did it, I thought they both did it well in its own way. I don't think it needs to be as controversial as it was. I guess sticking to the controversial stuff is I also watched Velma, unfortunately.
Ooh.
It's bad.
You poor soul.
Ooh.
So I watched that, and I also watched She-Hulk. And the only reason why I got through both of those was because I basically took it as like a script writing class on how not to write a script.
Yeah.
Because both shows were absolute dog, you know what, and it was some of the worst crap I've ever seen in my life. So, because of how bad Velma was, I ended up watching Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
Good choice.
Watch that bad taste out of my mouth, and that show is actually pretty good for a modern day Scooby-Doo. Overall, I think it's kind of weird with some of the the quirks that they gave some of the character stuff, especially in season 1. Some of the relationship stuff was kind of weird to me, but it wasn't as insulting as Velma. And it was actually like a Scooby-Doo storyline where they're actually solving mysteries. You know, it was Scooby-Doo. It was fun. So I've been enjoying that. I think I'm 2 or 3 episodes before I finish season 2, and I've thoroughly enjoyed that all the way through. So I watched that. The Last of Us. I watched Ant-Man yesterday as well, and I personally do not like it. As my blood boils internally. Because Phantom has a sign now that can tell me to edit crap out.
He'll sneak. He'll have it hanging over your bed,
Believe
and
me,
it'll light up.
Shows and movies that I've watched in the last year, I wish I could edit half of those movies and TV shows, but unfortunately, I am not one of them editors. But yeah. So where was I before I was rudely?
I can tell you love that thing, Phantom. You were talking Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, right? It was unfortunately very, very bad. I personally didn't like it. A lot of the stuff didn't make any sense. The movie kind of rushes through. It actually, to me, the strange thing about it was that, to me, if I agree with you 100% that it was like a setup movie, but at the same time, it was like an Avengers level threat storyline at times, and at other times, like you said, it was to set things up, and it just did not work for me. Story-wise, characters-wise, the CGI is noticeably bad too. I may be like just recounting what the critics are saying, but it's sadly.
Oh my god! Like this isn't a spoiler, and this isn't a spoiler. So I could say this freaking MODOK.
Yeah. I saw shots of it going in, so I did kind of get an idea, but seeing it on the big screen and everything, it did not translate well. And some of the writing, too, was just awful.
And that CGI stuff's been an ongoing issue with the movies for the while. I mean, even, you can make an excuse, like, during COVID that, okay, like, remote work made that stuff hard, but, like, we're firmly back into, the studios are back in. I mean, you look at something like Top Gun, where they did a bunch of CGI, and it's like, that didn't look bad. So
believe it or not, to my understanding, from some of the rumors I've heard, CGI studios are actually turning down Disney because.
Oh yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, because they're not paying fairly.
Because they're putting so much money into the CGI effects and everything, and yet, like the movies, when they are putting like Phase 4 has kind of been bad for Disney, to my understanding. Like they're not making the same amount of money as they used to, and so that's kind of like trickling down where like CGI artists are like, you're not giving us you're going with the assembly line approach to this, and yet we don't have enough time to fully execute these effects. We can't.
And then they give them like really short deadlines too.
Yeah. So all that's kind of rolling together, and I have my opinions about it, but it's unfortunately starting to get very noticeably low. I don't want to say, I hate to say it, but kind of low quality at times, and it's just getting bad. and I just rewatched Ant-Man, the second Ant-Man movie last night after watching the third one. I was like, I miss this.
Well, I think
Marvel was kind of being fun.
I think the thing is too is that because like they're in a whole new world compared to like the other movies, that means CG's got to be everywhere because it's like you're not dealing with average humans like most of the time.
Yeah, but
like, but I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that
I know
CG must have been a strain that way too.
I'm just hopeful that because they've said that apparently now that Bob Iger's back in charge, apparently they want to slow back down on like shoveling out so many of the TV shows and everything like they did last year. And I think if they're spreading the workload out, and maybe they can get some of these CGI houses back on board, we'll stop seeing the fatigue of the franchise because I still haven't watched like half the TV shows because it's like I don't have the time for that much shit.
Yeah, and most of them aren't good, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed. In my opinion, though, the script writing has got to be addressed though because it's just been noticeably bad. Like it was kind of like a down, like it's just been like a slow. It's basically just going downhill. Like No Way Home was great, and then WandaVision was good to and then the rest of it was just like to bad.
Loki was actually really good.
Oh yeah,
Loki was great, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that could have been its own movie, not a TV show.
Loki, I saw Loki. I did like it. but the whole stuff with Kang now has gotten really confusing considering
Oh yeah.
this last
He's a
movie and
complicated
everything.
character.
So, but I did like Loki though. I will give it that. Pretty much like those first two shows. After that, it's just down. Moon Knight was kind of back and forth.
I haven't seen Moon
fell
Knight.
off from it. Not Eternals. Shang-Chi. Actually, I know that was one of the movies, but I actually tried watching it and I bailed out in the first 30 minutes. I thought it was horrible.
Ooh. Oh god.
I felt like that for Eternals.
I was unfortunate with no free will of my own. Saw Eternals 4 times.
Wow.
And I was already done after the first time. I was dragged by family and friends of like, no one could see it together. They all had to see it separately.
Gotcha.
I'm just holding out for X-Men 97.
Which seems to be
I hope
that'll
it's
be
good.
fun.
I just worry about the writing. But I will
Apparently, it just got a second season also,
Wow.
even though it hasn't aired a single episode.
Yeah, I know.
That's like
Well,
they
yeah,
just
like,
getting ahead of the curve.
That's essentially become the norm now. A lot of these shows getting second seasons before season 1 even comes out.
Yeah,
or
like
they're
Velma.
making season 2 while they're making season 1 at the
Yeah,
same
it's
time.
all about like
It's
how
all
much
over.
they're ordering for episodes these days. It's not about like what seasons they greenlit anymore. It's all about we want production orders.
Crank out content. We need more content.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I will say, I'll end it on this because I have watched a lot of stuff, but I've been rewatching this. If
It's
only it would
blurry.
go into focus. It's the Hercules Kevin Sorbo TV series.
Ooh.
Ah.
I mean, I wish I could like Kevin Sorbo, but his viewpoints of the world are shit.
You mean like everyone
Yeah.
else is?
But he's one hell of an awesome Hercules. So
Disappointed.
I understand, but I love that show growing up, and I can't hate it. I can't hate it. Can't hate Hercules. So that's pretty much what I've been watching up until this point. So
Alright, so I guess we should start diving into the first piece of news. And so literally last podcast, we had one of our topics was that Toonami brought back fan art airings, like fan art submissions, and they could air it like on the block. We had one in December. It was neat, and then we had one in January, and now it's dead again. If you were watching Toonami, I think in like the first weekend of January, they did another fan art spot, and you noticed something didn't seem right when one of the submissions is a 600-pound Nami. It looks like it was obviously someone's kink. And we were already like, bro, what is this that Toonami played? But then it got even wilder as that piece of art was stolen, and it was locked behind the paywall. DeMarco was notified of it, and he said, yeah, we're stopping fan art. Both on the TV, and they stopped doing the Facebook Fan Art Fridays, which, that's depressing.
yeah.
So within a month, the fan art came and the fan art went. All because of one dickhead.
Yeah.
Well, and don't forget, the 600-pound Nami was the month after we got double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon Luffy. Somebody at Adult Swim was like, you can say like, oh, haha, it's fetish art that somebody submitted because it was funny, but man, somebody at Adult Swim was passing their kink on to the TV audience. And, listen, I ain't gonna kink shame anybody here, but like, maybe let's. I mean, well, obviously it's a little too late to dial it down because they dialed it down to 0 now. But man, like that, there was a pattern going on there, and I'm almost disappointed that we don't get a third installment because there's a morbid curiosity to know what they would have done the next time.
Tom becomes Morbius.
How do you follow that up?
But oh god, so sorry, I'm still laughing at what Logan said. And I'll be yawning.
Yeah, but before we continue though, can we get a quick moment of silence for fan art?
Yeah. Shame.
Unfortunately, like it was all literally just because of one asshole. Literally, it just took one person to ruin the entire thing, and that sucked.
If they choose to bring it back at some point, like couldn't Adult Swim just do some quality control? Like
The problem is that
They have no one.
yeah, the problem is Toonami is run by a small group of people.
I get
And
that.
Adult Swim themselves have other operations on top of their normal business.
Yeah.
So it's literally next to impossible for them.
And realistically,
Yeah, I
with the
understand that.
and the big problem is, with what happened with the Nami thing was, like they said, it was behind a paywall. So it's like, you couldn't even reverse image search something like that, because it was bad enough that the person obviously, submitted it under a fake name, but that in and of itself was bad enough. But it's like, I don't think there was any amount of research you could have done that would have found it, because it was paywall locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And as I recall, I think they killed it on, posting it even as the Fan Art Fridays on Facebook.
Yeah,
they got rid of that too, because now they have no faith that, stuff's being submitted that's legitimate. It's like, not only did they kill the broadcast one, but they killed the
Facebook
they killed the whole
one.
thing. And I mean, I think we mentioned it in the last one. I had my issues with some of the people that submitted to it, who took issue with, oh, well, why was my name shown on TV? It's like, bro, you signed a contract with Warner that you clearly didn't even read. Like, so we already had people that were submitting to it that, honestly didn't know what the hell they were doing. Yeah. So it's like, personally, I feel like, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, it was doomed from the start, just because of the people that were submitting to it. And I'm sorry if those people are listening to this, but as I said before, don't sign a legal document without reading it. I mean, you could have signed your life away to Warner, and considering how much stuff they were killing off, they might have killed you too.
Yeah.
Rip Logan. He was a tax write-off.
Oh man, how much were you worth, Logan?
Not enough, to be honest.
Damn.
Put Logan right next to Megas XLR.
Oh, damn.
He was worth one Bunny Girl figure.
I mean,
knee slapper right there.
I can live with that. That's like $300. I mean, that's a fairly decent net worth, I guess.
The one thing, like, I'm just kind of disappointed too, just because, like, I didn't get a chance. I'm a digital artist. I submitted once, it didn't air, and now I can't do it again.
Yeah.
So great, thank you, whoever your name is, who killed the freaking thing. Although, what annoys the crap out of me is because I mentioned in the past how I'm like uploading like Toonami stuff now on my channel. I uploaded that fan art thing, but then I took it down out of respect for DeMarco and the artist, and the number of comments I get flooded saying, why didn't you upload the January one? Why didn't you upload the January one? And I literally made a post saying I did upload it, and I'm sorry I took it down because I do not want to endorse art theft. But yeah, that was annoying. God. We had something good, man. Like, it's always lovely when Toonami acknowledges their fans. But every damn time, the minute they acknowledge their fans, something instantly goes wrong.
Yeah.
But anyone else got anything to say on this whole fan art fiasco?
Fuck the person who got killed.
Yes.
Keep your fetish art to the DMs.
I mean, Yeah, well, there's definitely that. Don't steal art, obviously. But just thinking about it, like maybe not to throw the responsibility on us, but like maybe maybe the fan sites could do something where they can kind of be like the fan art content control type of thing and kind of vet out it. Just throwing it out there for the fan sites if they want to like continue the fan art tradition, you know.
Maybe we can look into that, but it's like
Eric, that's more work for me.
Yeah, it's like we're
Yeah,
still a
so
small
we
crew,
should
and
definitely do that.
it's also we're running into the same problem. It's like, how do we vet if it's legit or not?
I mean, the only advantage there is at least if it ends up not legit, like there's no real legal obligation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's easy enough to just be like, hey, turns out this asshole stole it. What a dick! Like, and then we take that particular post down, you know, like, and issue an apology. Like at most, like that's the worst of it, you know.
Forgive my inner fandom, not phantom. Shut up, Phantom. Good. You know what I mean. I'm trying here. I hear you guys though. You're right though. Trying here. Yeah.
But yeah.
Has it been longer than like 10 seconds? Okay, good. We're past the new YouTube policy where we can't curse for like the first like 10 seconds or something like that.
I mean, we've been on for like more than 40 minutes, but okay.
I just noticed, yeah. So we're good.
But yeah, it was fun while it lasted. It
Yeah.
only lasted a month.
Yep. One asshole had to ruin it for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So like now the next thing that happened is we had two shows end recently on Toonami. One of them is everyone's favorite 10 out of 10 series, Yashahime Princess Half Demon Season 2.
Alright, I'm a lead.
I was hoping, I was gonna say, can I have an applause?
No.
In the words of Andre, mid. But it actually deserves that title, unlike, you know.
Yep.
Who's doing the cricket sound?
Who did that?
Very good.
That would be me.
Soundboard.
The standout stuff of this season was we had more screen time of Inuyasha and Kagome.
The only reason to watch the fucking show.
Yeah. I mean, the show lost me in like the middle of season 1. I fell off from it so early. I was trying hard to like it too, and I was like, where is this? It's not going anywhere. It's literally not going. They seem to be going to places, but they're not. The story's not going anywhere. Nothing happened.
That's exactly.
Yeah, honestly,
it seemed like they finished everything that they needed to accomplish in Inuyasha, and the story was completely pointless.
But they had to milk the franchise.
Yeah, but you need milk to milk the franchise.
They had milk, it just spoiled along the way.
I mean,
Be lucky you
second
guys
season.
didn't watch the simulcast. Be lucky you guys didn't watch the simulcast of it.
Why?
AKA, yes, I did.
What was it? Was it like a bad dub? Like what happened? Why?
It was probably just boring to watch.
The
No.
reason why, because I wasn't sure if it was going to come to Toonami, so I got curious.
Gotcha.
I mean,
I ended up watching the whole thing, regrettably.
at this point, if it's like I've said this so many times, but if a new anime comes out and Crunchy isn't behind it, then we can put a safe, maybe $2. No, $1.
$1 on solid.
$1.
$1 that it might come to Toonami. If it's by Crunchy, then put a big old negative 100 on that.
-1,000. Alex.
But I mean, it was okay. I mean, I also never seen Inuyasha, like, so that's on me. But I mean, like, it was alright. I mean, if anything, Moroha seems precious. Like, he has too many, like, precious, like, moments.
The thing that baffles me is that Yashahime lasted longer than Boruto.
Ha!
Wow. Wow, that's actually true.
Got him.
I guess
And
that's one thing
considering-
we can say about Yashahime. At least it's not Bort.
I mean, I would make the argument that Boruto was more interesting than Yashahime, and yet Yashahime lasted longer than Boruto.
In before they announced Bort replacing Yashahime.
Yeah.
We then manifest that.
Don't worry. After
Well,
the
that-
filler hell
that-
is done and Shippuden ends its run, it'll be back on Toonami. Mark my words.
We're likely going to get the Inuyasha treatment where they may just have it just to have it, potentially, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a legacy show, is what
Yeah.
I would call it.
Yeah, same.
I mean, like, yeah, and then, like, the whole plot about, like, what's her name, having daddy issues.
All three of them did.
All three of them did, yeah, you know. I'm not even talking about, the trio. I'm talking about, what's her name, the daughter of, what's his name? This goes to show how much I care.
Are you talking about Shishomaru?
Not Sashomaru, freaking the
Inuyasha Kagome's daughter?
No, the Kirine Maru, that's what it was.
Okay.
The daughter of him having daddy issues, and then the other guy comes with the comment, and you know, like, oh, like, it's because she still has, like, untethered feelings of, like, unconditional love for her father and crap like that, and I'm just like, but
Like, the family issues would have been fine, but you needed something to kind of just hook you to the show itself. Like, that, you need a little bit more than just the family issues. Like, or at the very least, whatever hook you come up with, have it tie into the family stuff, where it's like the family got separated because like, it doesn't seem like what was the villain from Inuyasha? I forgot it. It was her name, right?
Naraku.
Naraku, thank you. Like, you could have had something where it's like Naraku or like a descendant of Naraku was, you know, causing issues in the land again. It was causing a whole bunch of corruption or something, and that's what caused like Inuyasha and Kagome to kind of separate the kid, all three of the kids, you know, and then they all come back together and like something to hook you with. But they kind of just like meet up, and then they just go on this adventure together, and you don't really understand why. Yeah, it's cool when they reunite with the characters from the original show, but there was nothing to attach the audience with of like, what is the point of following these characters through this adventure? What are they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to save the land? There's like some demons here and there, but not to the point. It wasn't like a Naraku level of threat, you know, where the entire demon world in this case was really in a threat or anything. It's just them trying to reunite with their families, sort of.
So what you're saying is Yashahime is Picard season 1.
Eric looks like he needs an emergency room right now.
Oh wow. Wow. Not
Unfortunately, I'm laughing, but I don't get it because I never seen Picard.
It's.
I mean, you don't have to see.
But it's so hard not to.
You don't have to explain it. I'm just gonna laugh.
It's like, you know, for me, it's just one of those things where it's like the reason I joke about the comparison is it's like it's the nostalgia cash in. I mean, yes, there's obviously been a lot more time, between one than, the time between, because it's been about 10 years since Inuyasha Final Act or so, somewhere around there. But it's like, that's basically, to me, that's what it feels like, is it's the nostalgia cash in, like, hey, by the way, do you want to see the characters you give a crap about and see what they're up to? We're going to tease that carrot, and, in order to do that, we have to apparently write a plot to try and make any of this make sense, but we also don't really care because we really just want to get those other people on screen because that'll get people to watch this, and that'll get people to buy merchandise.
Again, going back to Boruto, at least Boruto got you with that, in my opinion, it got you with that hook. Right from the very first episode, what does Boruto start with? A teaser of the time skip of when these two characters, Boruto and the new Sasuke, basically are fighting one another. And that, honestly, like the stuff with Kawaii and Boruto is interesting.
Yeah, and they don't get to that for like in 200 episodes.
That's where the criticism. I totally agree with the criticism. Boruto has taken way too long. It really should be in the time skip by now. But granted, though, to Boruto's credit, at least it gave you that hook, and it got you through about 150 something episodes. Just hoping that you get to that point sooner than later. I've fallen off from Boruto, but that was kind of my experience with me. That hook kept me locked in on it for a good long time, because it was genuinely interesting, especially when they did introduce Kawaii into the story, and that basically Boruto and him are kind of brothers, and seeing where it's leading to that and how they end up, why they're fighting and everything. And even as ridiculous as it gets, it does get kind of interesting at times, but it's gotten too bloated and gotten way too
Apparently, from what I've seen, they're actually on a manga canon arc right now.
Yeah.
Like, at least from some of the clips I've seen, but that's going off topic. Anyone have anything else to say on Mid Shahime Season 2?
But there not be a Season 3. For the love of God, Sunrise, please, no.
In before they announce the third act?
Nah, they'll be okay. They've got a hit Gundam show right now, so I think they can put Yashahime out faster.
Good.
They're taking it to the back alleyway and just shooting it dead.
Yeah.
Take me out to the back of the shed. Alright, so Yashahime wasn't the only one to end, because another fan favorite Toonami show, a very wholesome, show, Made in Abyss Season 2, had its hour-long finale last week. It was such a wholesome thing. Everyone lived in peace and harmony. No one died. Everyone survived. It was amazing. Everyone got closure. Oh god, I can't keep this going. Main Abyss Season 2. Going from mid to excellent. We spoke of Yashahime, that was mid, and now we go to Main Abyss, which was excellent.
This is one of the best show pickups Toonami's made in recent years.
Wholeheartedly agree. I put out a tweet after the show ended, and I feel like I should say it on the pod because it just feels right. Main Abyss is not a show I would recommend for everyone, but for those who are willing to watch it, it's a truly horrifying experience, yet it's also unbelievable at the same time.
Yeah. It has this wide range of emotions that can go from straight body horror to psychological horror to sad moments and deep moments of reflection on the characters themselves. It is one of the most versatile horror manga and horror series I've ever watched. It's so good.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrifying, but they keep you reeled in the whole time. You just can't help but watch. And, throughout it, you're just left in awe of how amazing this show actually is.
I think it's interesting how, we've mentioned before how, Toonami has talked about wanting to do more horror anime on the block, with Uzumaki coming and Housing Complex and stuff like that. And when they picked up Made in Abyss, you look at the key art for it and you're like, oh, this looks like a cute, wholesome little show. And as it turns out, it belongs in the, hey, Toonami's becoming a home for horror anime, and you didn't realize it.
Well, I would say so. I kind of fell off from it. I fell off from it from the kind of early in the beginning, to be honest. Because of that reason.
The first season is a little slow to begin with. I will admit that.
I think that's why, because I was.
But
for that very reason, like what Logan just said, where it was kind of cutesy and it was. I was waiting for it to kind of get going, and to me, it kind of never did.
What episode did you leave off on?
It was very early, man. Because Made in the Abyss has been on Toonami for how long would you say? Like a good
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
It got it last year. So.
Wait, no. Yeah, 1 year, because we had season 1 in the. Sorry, I got confused because we had season 1 at the start of last year, and then
we got the season 2. We got the end at the end of last year. We skipped Dawn of the Deep Soul for whatever reason.
But we got it initially like 2 years ago, right?
We got it in 2022. It was in February 2022.
No, not even February. It was January because this came.
Oh, right.
This came before One Piece came back.
Yeah. And that was like a big announcement for me because I love Made in Abyss. I loved that first season. I saw the movie. I'm like, this is one of the best horror shows I've ever seen in my life. This is amazing.
Honestly,
I would just say, Eric, keep going. And I won't say like it's for everyone. There are moments that you will feel uncomfortable and it will ask you to sit through it and watch it. But if you're willing to sit through the uncomfortable moments, you are in for a roller coaster of emotions, but a beautiful show that is not afraid to ask very serious questions about the human condition, about humanity as a whole. It's a very deep show, and the deeper you go into the abyss, the darker it gets.
Okay.
I mean, obviously...
I could not agree more. Honestly, I could not agree more with what Sam once just said.
Because I would say I probably lost track of it, because I remember watching maybe 5 episodes from season 1, and then...
When was Ozen introduced, Steven?
Yeah.
What's up?
When was Ozen introduced in season 1?
I remember watching it when we first got it. I remember it kind of being on my interest a little bit, with at the very beginning, and then things just took over my personal life.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I've been on hiatus forever in the last 2 years. Yeah, because of all that, I haven't really been, to be honest, I haven't been really watching Toonami that much, because I've been home, but I've just been getting
Well, I mean,
for Toonami, honestly, because of just how crazy my life has been the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam.
I mean,
Yeah.
To answer your question, it's the end of episode 5, but more so episode 6 is when she's introduced.
Oh, okay.
Also, Eric, I was going to say, you said you haven't watched it in a minute. Well, you haven't missed much.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a dark thing to say. I mean, we already had a whole discussion on it in this last podcast. But onto the main.
I'll definitely put that on my list, and I'll see if I can get around to it.
If you really love horror, it's, I would say, the ultimate litmus test for horror.
Really?
And I also would say it's an ultimate litmus test for anime as well. Like, if you love the medium of animation and anime in general, watch Made in Abyss.
And one thing, when you talk about Made in Abyss, you absolutely have to bring every single time the score.
Oh, Kevin Pekin. Oh, what a beautiful score.
Boy, I'm actually glad I got the 2 biggest Made in Abyss fans on this podcast.
The score is probably some of the best I have ever heard in any show.
Okay. All right, guys, you got me. You got me.
Just make sure to watch the movie in between seasons 1 and 2 because that's
Yes.
critical.
It's necessary.
Okay.
It broke
but-
Silver.
I wanted.
Just I think the most fun I've had with Toonami in the past few years is just watching Silver's reaction to Made in Abyss. That has been the most.
Like I
fun
said,
I've had.
the movie broke Silver.
What do you mean by breaking him? Like, was he crying in tears?
Yes.
He
Yes.
did his his Spanish cursing out, which only happens when he's really mad.
Wow. Okay.
Also, I was gonna make a joke. I was like, because Sam One was praising Made in Abyss, and I was gonna be like, obviously, Made in Abyss is such an amazing show. Sam One has said it, but we've had glowing testimonials from another great fan of the show. Isn't that right, Silver? Like, unfortunately, he's not.
Yeah.
It was like Silver's favorite show, indeed. I photoshopped Silver with Bondry because it's his favorite character
Oh, you
from the
bastard.
show.
Oh, you bastard. Perfect.
With the Mountain Dew and the Dr. Pepper logos too.
Nice. All right.
Hey, anyone could go for some Capri
Figure out
Sun right now? I could go for a Capri Sun right now. Why is this Capri Sun pouch screaming? I mean, on my end, like I saw season 1. Like I already knew something was sus because instantly Sam was like, "Oh, so wholesome. Oh, so wholesome. Oh, so wholesome." I was already like, okay, something's sus.
Sam being sarcastic.
What? It's a wholesome show. Come on now.
See?
Yeah, you just hear from Silver. Like, so I enjoyed it. I mean, the thing was, what funny enough was, people were saying, "Oh, it's so wholesome and blah blah blah. I can't wait to get the piss scared out of you and all that." In the first season, I was more ew rather than like horrified. And then I saw the movie, and I was horrified. and then season 2 came along, and I was even more horrified. So good, it did its job.
Okay.
Of course, we wish we could have had a glowing testimonial from Andre, who couldn't be with us, unfortunately. He would have called it Made in Abyss.
If he likes
And
kisses.
then I was gonna say, and then Steven and Sam would have roasted him for liking kisses. Anyone else have anything to say on Made in Abyss?
It's an
I
excellent
think,
series.
honestly, you said everything needs to be said.
Yeah, it's an excellent series. If you missed it out on Toonami, it's currently streaming on High Dive, and so is the movie too. The English dub is actually really good too. I watched season 1 subbed, so watching the dub was like, oh, this is actually a really good dub.
And if nothing else, just wait for one of Sentai's like super cheap Blu-ray sales that they do every 6 weeks, where you can get like entire seasons for like $7.
Yeah. I think I've seen Made in Abyss Season 1 go on sale for like $20-some if you're just getting the standard Blu-ray or something. So yeah, keep on the lookout for that stuff because it's a great series and I recommend it. It's not going to be for everyone, of course, but if you enjoy horror shows and you like anime, please check it out.
Yep, and you're not giving anything to the crunchy overlords.
Fuck the crunchy overlords.
I'm still giving my money to AMC though. I don't know if that's better or worse.
Oh, hey, don't you want to pay more money just to sit in the middle of the theater, though?
That's the wrong AMC. Different AMC.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, so I guess moving on to the next topic. So this is always a spicy discussion, because when one show ends on Toonami, you like to speculate what is next. But the entire last year has literally taught us, don't expect anything.
You mean Gundam Witch from Mercury isn't getting a dub premiere on Toonami?
Come on! That was leaked!
But DeMarco is seething.
Guys.
And Bleach?
Actually, I don't think I can say it on stream.
But DeMarco is seething right now, guys. So like every time a show ends on Toonami, it's just customary at this point for like the past 2 years to just expect more double runs of Naruto and maybe double runs of One Piece. Doesn't help that they already shrunk the block because of that. So, but we were also thinking, well, it's a new year, meaning that they probably got like resupplied on the budget. So, you know, maybe we could actually look forward to something. And we're getting more stalling. Not to say that I don't like what they're doing, but at this point, I'm kind of numb. We got some DC movies coming. The first one is Injustice, based off the video game. I heard it wasn't great. A lot of people have just said it felt like they crammed like the entire video game's plot, or I think the 2 video games plot into one like hour and a half story.
That's rough.
I mean, so that, which is this Saturday at the time of recording, the 18th. And then the next Saturday is Justice League versus the Fatal 5, which I hear is good. Apparently, like I never watched any of the DC animated shows, but it's apparently a sequel to the Justice League Unlimited series.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's interesting. Also, that Saturday, the next Saturday, they're playing a special Ball Masters Rubicon, which is a special of the series Ball Masters. It actually seems interesting. They actually have an actual anime studio behind it, so you can't say it's not anime.
Wait, Ball Masters is anime?
Always has been.
Always will be.
I mean, like, now that I think about it, I should have seen this coming, considering that they aired Ball Masters on Toonami, and they announced a while back that Ball Masters and King Star King were getting like specials, and apparently from what I hear, the people behind Ball Masters are really hopeful that this special does well to do season. They made the special in the hopes that they get a season 3, so yeah, I hope they get a season 3.
All right.
Yes. So DC movies finish off February. I've said this last time when we discussed the Batman night. DC movies aren't doing it for me anymore. Like, they're cool, they're neat. When they started doing it back in 2020, I think, when Fandom went online, it was amazing. It was a neat thing to see, because at the time, Toonami hasn't aired movies in like God knows how long, and they haven't aired DC anything in a long time either. So it was like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But now, like, we're kind of adjusted to seeing a DC night every time Fandom rolls around, or every time like a new movie comes out.
This is
I guess
an early promotion for the upcoming Shazam, I believe.
That, or it's just Stalin. Joseph Stalin from the USSR.
Probably a little bit of both. Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
I mean, I'm fine with them airing DC movies.
I'm fine with
at
it
this
too.
point, we've already aired Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, so they've already peaked.
Yeah.
So I would much rather like them to, get a TV show on the block. But I understand that Warner is still being uncommunicated with them about that. So it's like, well, can't do anything about that because they're still asking way too much money for one show. And it's like, come on, man, it's free promotion for you. Yep.
So that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I appreciate that they're doing the movies and everything, and even though, again, I've kind of fallen behind with Toonami a lot, but I try to watch when the DC stuff was happening too. But I'm kind of in agreement with you guys. Like, I want a DC show on Toonami. I want like a legitimate DC show. I want some superheroes to go along with my anime.
like they would like Young Justice is right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
literally
Nice.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that would last them a long time too. Like,
Yep.
they could make a deal with Warner. Like, look, we'll come to you. Here's some money for Young Justice. We'll air all seasons. That way, it fills up a time slot for at least over a year.
Yep.
I think we wouldn't have any problems with that.
No,
We
I'd be
wouldn't,
fine with
but,
that.
but Warner would have problems
Right.
with that.
Oh no!
Warner-
Don't you mean David Zasloff?
No, the thing is that this has always been a Warner Brothers issue because they overvalue the DC properties, which is fine. You know, they want to value their stuff how they want to value it, but it's also like at a certain point.
Even though they have screwed over their properties so horribly in the last like 5 years.
Yeah, well, that's Warner Brothers for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for Warner Brothers, it would make sense for them to be like, okay, we'll do more synergy with our sister stations and be like, okay, here, Adult Swim, we'll work with you. Here's Young Justice. We'll put it on the block for you. We'll give you all seasons. But I would also say, like, hey, maybe it could be like a special little ad block for HBO Max or whatever their new service is called, right? Like, it's that easy. It's just like you're doing the work of just telling more casual people who may not have or want a subscription service to be like, okay, this is airing week to week on Adult
This
Swim.
is literally the same point of contention that we have when it comes to Crunchyroll and their shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was more recently. At least back then, it's like, well, Funimation was at least willing to work with them. Nowadays, now that they're called Crunchyroll, they're not like interested in doing that business for various reasons. And for very good business reasons, and I understand those business reasons, Warner has no goddamn excuse here.
The thing is though with like DC is that I kind of feel like they're squandering so much potential, especially with some of their upcoming movies. Like, just imagine if they did like a one-off like animated series that like, and you get Michael Keaton to like voice like an animated Batman like short series or something like that. Like, you could do that and then put it on Toonami and have fun with it. But none of those ideas are getting thrown around at all because, like you said, Sam, Warner thinks that DC is on such a high horse because Batman's the only thing that sells for them.
Yeah, and then they're trying to do this whole rebooted DCU of James Gunn, which I'm looking forward to. Don't
I am
get me
too.
wrong, but there's also a part of me that's just a little skeptical on some
Yep.
of those things being reality, like the Swamp Thing thing. Like, maybe that'll come to fruition, but right now it is a promise. It is not going to fully
Yeah.
be delivered right now.
Yep.
It is just a promise. But I am looking forward to what James Gunn is doing, but there's also a point of like, well, why don't you just promote more of your brands inside of DC? There's more than just Batman. You know, promote more with Superman. Put more DC out there to the world. And I get it. It's always business, 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 money, money, money. How can we extract most of the money from our...
Warner. HBO Max lost the streaming war. You're limiting yourself to audiences. Put it out!
I'm just going to say it, you know, if in June they run some kind of, you know, I don't know what they've got in the animated canon that's out there, but if they end up running some kind of Flash movie in you know, tie-in.
Oh yeah, they totally
Flash,
will. They totally will air.
They're going to,
Flashpoint.
yeah, because WB is the most tone deaf bunch of fuckers that you've ever met.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Toonami, hosted by Ezra Miller. Let's go.
Oh man, the shit takes on Twitter that day.
Oh.
Tom needs to throw that guy next to the frickin' intruder and just let him melt in there. In my opinion.
I mean,
But-
like I. Oh, sorry, same one you were saying.
I would just, even if it's like, here, have Batman the Animated Series be on at 2:30. Like, I would be fine with that. I would be
Yeah.
like, oh, that'd be a cool little rerun to air at 2:30. And, you know, if it's cheap enough to acquire, why not?
Yeah,
But if
100%
Warner
that
is
and also
is
beyond.
valuing that old show so much, like, I get it, it's a great show, but it's old. It's from the 90s.
Well, they're probably gonna value it even harder now because of Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, well, maybe not, because it's a corporation. They don't care about the people.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I still hope and I'm still holding out hope that one day Warner Brothers works something out with Toonami and be like, here's one of our shows, you can air it. It's not a one-night thing like Harley Quinn was. You can air it. It can air week to week, and you can have it for this price. Whatever that price is, it's a fair price.
I mean, Jason has said before that he says that they're like inching closer to them like all the time. So like he's hopeful that one day they can get like a DC show on Toonami or whatever.
And the only reason why that is because of the whole restructuring that happened in 2020. Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network are the same. There is no difference between the two anymore. It is Warner Brothers, all one.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like, yeah, I'm interested. Like, I'll check it out. I mean, Injustice, I don't hear great things about. Justice League, I'm interested in both movies, so I'll check them out.
I think I'll check out the other DC movie more than Injustice.
I actually just got the Fatal 5 on the Steelbook version. Highly recommend the Steelbook version, by the way. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful Steelbook. But the movie's pretty solid too, and it pretty much is like a continuation of Justice League Unlimited. It's good. It's solid. Pretty much mid-tier to entertaining. Nothing spectacular like some of the best stories in like the Justice League Unlimited and all that, but it's good. It's entertaining. It's one of the better DC movies to have come out in a while, in my opinion, compared to some of them that have been really bad at times. In my opinion, it's one of the better ones. I haven't seen the Injustice one. I haven't heard much about it.
I was curious.
It really impressed me all that much.
I was curious on it when they announced it because I played the games and I liked the story.
Yeah.
Like it's an interesting topic of like, what if Superman was like an authoritarian, like dictator, and like the Justice League is like split. And like they did like a whole like they went all in on it when the game came out. They had comics and all that. So like when they announced the movie, I was like, well, that's expected. It seems interesting.
Even the animated show did that with like the variant like evil versions of the Justice League and all that. The Injustice Lords, if I remember correctly.
I haven't seen that, so I got no idea. But yeah, I mean, yeah, and then Justice League, I'm interested in. I'm also interested in the Ballmaster special because they're hyping it up, and I hope they get a season 3 from this. But like once again, we look at this and we're just like some more stalling. Like, okay.
All I know about Injustice is one of my friends in a Discord, my basketball Discord server, who knows that I do this and he follows us. All he said when he found out the news was, "I am so sorry you have to watch the animated adaptation of Injustice. Praying for you."
Oh god.
So I'm like, okay, I'm scared.
I've actually
from what I hear, it's just that it's a problem of they try to condense so much plot into so little time. It's like the opposite I had with Sword Art movie actually. Like that was like a 20-minute episode stretched into a feature length. Well, from Injustice, from what I hear, it's like 2 games crammed into one movie. But yeah,
I've actually seen Injustice. It's basically what you just described it.
So anyone else have anything to say on these DC movies?
Not really, but yeah, at the time of recording, we still don't really know what, actually gonna replace Mid-Jahime and Made in Abyss.
Yeah, unfortunately. Although, fun fact, we're recording this on a Friday. We were originally going to record this on a Wednesday.
The date is Friday, February 17th, just to make that clear.
2023.
We were originally going to record Wednesday, but we decided to delay to Friday. And boy, was it a good thing we did that.
Yes, because I was at work. I was just, doing my job. I go just to check my email, just for the heck of it, and I saw something very interesting pop up. When I mentioned One Piece coming back to Toonami, I was like, no one saw this coming. You could make that an argument,
with this piece of news though, no one saw this coming. Like legit, who had this on their bingo card for 2023?
I guarantee you, nobody.
Nobody.
Honestly,
No
no
one.
one. When I saw that
Like-
in my press email, I was stunned.
I was like, how? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so what is this news? A special episode of One Piece that is a crossover between Dragon Ball and Toriko, which
Yeah.
never left Japan,
hmm
is airing on Toonami in the first weekend of March. And I like,
Not
is
only
this
that-
your?
Not only that, it is a dub premiere.
Wow.
Which is
Good.
insane because here's the thing, like in Japan there's like a shit ton of Jump crossovers. Like in Japan there's like games, like animated like one-offs, maybe manga stuff of like a bunch of Shonen Jump characters interacting with each other, like games like Jump Force and things like that, and those are always cool to see. But the issue is you will if ever see that outside of Japan. Like,
You
and
can
if
only get
it,
bootleg copies.
and if they do come outside of Japan, they won't dub that. It'll stay like Japanese only. Like Jump Force is sub only. Like those J-Star games are sub only because like I would imagine that would have to be a nightmare to dub that stuff because it's probably easy in Japan because all those characters are under one thing. But it's not so easy over here when a bunch of those characters in those series are split amongst different companies. So like voice acting for that stuff has to be a pain.
Mhm.
But to see a Jump crossover and like event come over here and get dubbed is insane.
And also
And I
considering like a show like Toriyori that hasn't really been touched in years.
Yeah, Toriko has been pretty much abandoned by Jump for various reasons. You can Google that yourself if you want to learn that.
Yeah, I mean, as an example, Funimation back in the day had the license to it, dropped it, didn't complete the dub or anything, and we at Discotech actually got the license to the second movie. We didn't dub it; we just released it subbed, and we didn't, to my knowledge, it didn't flop, but it didn't do anything near enough worth us, looking into getting the series and finishing it off subbed or anything like that because. I worked on the subs for that like 4 years ago, and I can tell you now we don't have anything on the horizon for it. So, it's not exactly the most popular show over here, and
That's why we bring up the bingo card.
yeah. Well, and it's like had this been a situation that came up a decade ago, yeah, sure, I could have seen it easily being something that they would have dubbed and put together because at the time Funimation had all three component shows, but by the time it came out, like they'd come and gone with what they gave a shit about for Toriko.
Well, it also depended if Toei even wanted because keep in mind this episode was Japan only. Like it wasn't on streaming here. You couldn't get it on like any DVDs or Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Like this is literally something that never left Japan, and it's making its first worldwide debut on Toonami, which is wild.
I'd be curious how that came up in like a negotiation.
Like I'm legit wondering how. Like who?
I mean, it's
Did Jason just
possible.
be like, "Hey"?
I don't
saw this
think
many moons
Jason-
ago."
I think
I
it's
don't-
very possible Toei went to Adult Swim and was like, hey, we're looking to dub this. Would you be interested in airing it? And I'm sure he said yes.
You think Toei went to them?
They
No,
went to them.
they went to them to get One Piece back.
Yeah. They also went to them for Dragon Ball Super. Well, Adult Swim went to Toei for Dragon Ball Super
Yeah.
because I heard that another corporation was looking to grab Dragon Ball Super and they weren't going to outbid them. So they came up with a strategy for Dragon Ball Super and they won out in the end.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, it makes sense, especially if you want to dub it, you're going to be able to get your cast from even from back in the day for Toriko back.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with a cast that already is in One Piece and Dragon Ball.
Yep.
So it's not like it's going to be that difficult for Toei to get.
And I think this is being dubbed at Okatron 3000 or 5000. Is it Okatron 5000?
5,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would think that's being dubbed at Chris Abbott's studio. So they have a good relationship with Toei. So it makes sense.
I totally get that. It's just just the idea of like that topic just coming up and the consideration that like Toei was just like, we're thinking about dubbing this. I guess Toonami should.
I mean, it makes sense. They're good business partners together. They've been working together for
it's
years.
good to know that Toei still is very tummy with Toonami, and the fact that we even have this at all is insane.
And honestly, what makes me think about this is that could some of the Toonami, not the Toonami, but some of the Dragon Ball Z specials, could they be on the horizon?
No.
In the not too distant future?
No.
You don't think?
Yeah, the problem with those is those were produced by Jump. They were animated by Toei, but Jump, like the one with Vegeta's brother. That was produced by Jump, and then they had Toei and Bird Studio involved. So it's the same problem we run into with the Attack on Titan OVAs that they eventually did manage to wrangle out somehow.
Okay.
But it's the same kind of thing when they're anime specials that are produced for the actual comic magazines and whatnot. It doesn't make it impossible to get them, but it's a lot harder because now you've got yet another company in the mix that's got to sign off on it.
Yeah,
it's
the whole Friday the 13th situation.
The whole Rohan, when Netflix got that was an OVA that was made specifically for a Jump issue. And they got that. It's very likely that they came to them with an offer that they couldn't refuse, right? It's all money at the end of the day.
Yep.
It's also business talks. It's we'll offer you this and we'll also offer you that. And I would understand this problem. I believe, didn't you say this was an hour-long episode and they're only airing half an hour of it?
Yes, because half of this episode. It is technically One Piece episode 590. At One Piece episode 590 is half of this special. The other half of this special is Toriko episode 99.
Okay.
So if you want to see the full thing, Toonami would have to air an episode of Toriko, which I don't think is going to happen.
And they don't have the rights to that. And actually, I don't think anyone has the rights to that. And it's not dubbed. And Toei's not going back to dub that. So
we're only getting half the episodes. What you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. I think it's a case though where it's an hour, but I think both halves have their own contained.
The thing is, as a Kamen Rider fan, coming from their live action stuff, Toei's really good about doing that. Unless they make a very specific crossover TV special, when they actually do stuff that's a numbered episode of this show and a numbered episode of that show, a lot of the time it's oh, hey, here's this character who also showed up and they're going to help out in a fight against the bad guy or whatever. And that's relatively it. You can watch that without worrying about catching the other half of the crossover. There's usually stuff that would probably be enhanced if you did see both parts of it. But it's, in my experience with their live action stuff, it's not critical. And so we're probably not going to be missing anything that actually matters.
Okay. Interesting.
But I still find this fascinating. And the thing is, too, is because a lot of the cast from Dragon Ball is a good chunk of the cast in One Piece. So I'm just going to find it amazing. Because, example, Colleen Klinkenbeard, she voiced Teen Gohan in DBZ Kai, and it's literally just her Luffy voice. So now you're gonna hear Luffy call out to Goku.
Kid Gohan, because I think Teen Gohan isn't that.
No, well, technically Gohan from his childhood up to Cell, I know.
Not full teen, kind of 12, 13ish.
Yes, around there, yes. So Colleen voices young Gohan, and it's literally just her Luffy voice. And now you're about to hear Luffy as Luffy call out to Goku, which is going to be insane. And then you got Chris Sabat, who voices Zoro, who also voices Vegeta and Piccolo. And Piccolo's literally just his Zoro voice. And that's, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be wild hearing
one
them
of these days,
on the same...
I've joked about this with one of the other guys at Discotech before. We really want one of these days to just get Chris Sabat to dub an episode of a show, and he, like, literally what I mean by Chris Sabat to dub it is he voices every single character, no matter child, woman, doesn't matter. Like, he plays every single character in the episode, and we've gently pitched it as maybe a joke dub at one point, but I don't think the boss wants to pay for it because we've got Sabat in one of our in our Fist of the North Star dub, and we pitched it. We're like, hey, since we've worked with him now a couple of times, what do you think of getting him to do this for as a joke on an episode of a show we've got? And he's like, yeah, if you guys want to pay for it, sure. And we're like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
I don't think this is gonna happen because I think like the Dragon Ball characters here are specifically like post Buu Saga, but like also Eric Bale voices Trunks and he voices Sanji, and it's literally the same voice. I don't think Trunks is in this, but it would have been amazing.
Yeah, this is all pre-Super stuff, so it actually is considered a Toriko, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z special. Yeah. Like, it's not a Super era special.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's just a wild thing too. Like, literally, like this thing never left Japan. Like, if you want to see it, you'd have to use fan subs. So it's yet again just a wild thing to see. And not to bring down the mood, but as amazing as this is still stalling. Because the schedule for that day is 2 episodes of My Hero, then the One Piece special, then a regular episode of One Piece, and then Naruto, and then Primal. So we still don't know what's coming.
Yep, I'm recording February 17th. Yeah, it's like at the time of recording, we still don't know what's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
which means it'll be announced tomorrow because something always has to make the podcast out of date after we record it. Man, so we're going to find out tomorrow.
I don't even remember the last time they announced anything on a Saturday.
I mean, it's happened. I mean, the last time
remember.
Fun.
No.
I remember they did it once on a Saturday. I was at Red Bull
Toonami.
Arena when it happened. I think My Hero Season 5 was announced.
No, I think it was Mob Psycho 100.
I don't remember. There was a show where
they announced Assassination Classroom.
No, it was a Saturday afternoon. I remember it vividly. I was at Red Bull Arena, just getting into my seat, and then I see that.
I mean, they also announced Assassination Classroom Season 2 during Toonami.
And that's probably the last time we'll ever see something like that.
Maybe.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a stall tactic, but it's a very fun stall tactic.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, the following week could be another week where they saw and like, here's a random movie we're airing. Ooh.
Here's the Toriko half of the special. They don't get the whole series, they just get the one episode.
Oh, we just got the rights to air Ghost Stories on Toonami.
Oh God!
Oh wow! We just got the rights to air
did just remaster that in HD.
Wait.
we did just remaster that in HD, so.
What? Jujutsu Kaisen or Ghost Stories?
Ghost Stories.
Really?
Yes,
really?
Yeah. We just released a Blu-ray where we did a new upscale on it and remastered it in HD, and I even restored the original ADV closed caption subs. Which include extra jokes that were not like directly in the dub.
Oh,
so, yeah.
You might have to hook.
Steven has a reason to get that Blu-ray.
I need to buy it.
I just got it on DVD. I think the other.
Yeah, shameless plug, but yeah, it's good, and like I matched all the old ADV fonts and everything. Like it is as close to a direct upgrade from the DVDs to an HD version as you can possibly ask for. So, yeah, shameless discotheque plug.
Yeah, so like back, like I don't know. Anyone else have anything to say on the One Piece like episode special? Like, I'm still blown away. Like legit, still blown away that this is even happening. That it's even getting localized with a dub, no less. So many people thought it was going to be subtitled, and they said no, it's a dub. And I'm like, Jesus.
All I can say is, I love it, but Toonami, listen to me. Just listen to me real quickly. Please stop announcing stuff while I'm at work.
I was at work when this was announced.
I'm the one who has to announce it on the socials. I have to type everything. Please stop doing this while I'm working.
You could have Andre post it.
That would be much appreciative.
I mean, around noon would be nice for some of us who actually have 30 minutes.
That's what I'm working.
Jason, here's my number. Can you just text me when you announce this stuff, just so I can take care of it while I'm at work?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you save it for like 4, 5 p.m. like you used to? That would be great. Just these afternoon announcements, just perfect. They're not doing it for me because I'm working during that time. So 5 o'clock would be great, so I could actually not step out of work.
I mean, I know we can't get Demon Slayer,
That being
but at the very
said,
at least
never
give us
ask me for
announcements.
anything again.
Yeah. I mean, at least give us a 5 p.m. announcement. I mean, we're not expecting Demon Slayer anytime soon.
I mean, you never know. Maybe these announcements that they're waiting on are from Crunchyroll, but I'm still very doubtful on that. So we'll see what they have in store for March. We'll see.
Well, we definitely know it won't be Jujutsu Kaisen.
Exactly.
Anyway,
A sigh.
Anyway, so I guess that wraps it up. I do have to say, I mean, this is a little better than last year.
We're still at the beginning of the year, remember.
We're still at the beginning, yes.
Remember, last year they started off strong, and then towards the rest of the year.
And it fell flat.
You know that meme of like that drawing of a horse, and then towards the end it's just like this little scribbles? Yeah, that was last year for Toonami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, last year was rough.
I'm just, Toonami, please stop stalling. Just give us the freaking show announcements already. What the heck, man? DeMarco.
Stalling. You think we're stalling?
Yes. Anyway,
That's the thing you're saying? Stalling?
I don't
know where that
get
was
what you-
going.
It's a reference.
Oh, I know.
Anyway,
An Uncle L reference.
I don't know.
Okay then. I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
so this brings us to the end of the podcast. This is where we all start plugging their stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at Samster299. Hopefully I don't get hacked soon, since they just recently made a very stupid business decision. Thank you, E-Dumb. Yeah, thank you, Phantom, for that. Follow me on Twitter at Samster299. I have a Hive social that I never use at Samster299. That's basically just a backup in case Twitter goes down, thanks to Elon. YouTube, Samster299, where I've essentially become a Toonami archivist now, since I upload.
And you're doing a
promos
great
and
job.
bumpers.
Yes.
Stevie. I still try to make some fan-made stuff from time to time, and also I'm just gonna say this here. I said this last night. I don't do requests.
So stop asking.
What if I slide you this $1 bill?
Although I wouldn't mind a Blood Blockade Battlefront thing.
Am I gonna have to do another one of those like 80s text generators that goes along with the We're Just a Fan site that just says I don't do requests?
Yes.
I can make that for you if you want.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that'd be lovely. But yeah, so yeah, that I archived Toonami stuff. I still try to make some fan made stuff, but I'm just too busy with real life nowadays, honestly. And then you can follow Toonami Squad at Twitter, Toonami Squad Instagram, Toonami Squad Facebook page, Toonami Squad. Do we have a Hive? I don't think we have a Hive.
We have a Hive.
Yeah, we have.
I don't.
It's another backup account in case Twitter shuts down. Expired merch at redbubble.com. We could follow the podcast on YouTube. Do we upload to the other sites still or no?
So it's
Like-
Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, FM Radio.
But do we
Oh,
upload to
radio.
those still? Because I remember there was an issue with that, wasn't there?
I think it was in terms of storage, but I think that has been resolved.
All right. Well, yeah, you can follow. You can check out the podcast there too. Am I missing any other squad plugs? Squad YouTube.
Dormant.
Okay. So I guess that's all the squad plugs. So everyone else can start plugging their stuff now.
You can follow me on Twitter at SEUniverse.
So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Esterso5, Instagram at Esterso5, Twitch at Toonami Ult, even though I rarely stream these days, but you never know.
I should have plugged Twitch too.
Hive is also Toonami Ultra. Once again, that is only for in case Elon actually destroys the Bird app. You can also follow my personal project on Twitter called New York Kit Tracker at NY Kit Tracker, where I'm tracking kits of the New York Red Bulls and Gotham FC. It's a fun little project on the side. And yeah, it was glad to be back on for the first time in I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on, Steven.
And you can follow me pretty much the same way as my tag down here. Other way. Yeah, there we go. Same thing on Twitter. eRockstar5 over at Twitter. You can follow me there. I also have been doing stuff with my friends over at Vision Maker Productions. You can find that on Instagram, YouTube, and all that fun stuff as well. That's kind of some of the stuff that I've been doing on the side that I'm hoping I could turn into an actual thing at some point, while also coming back to here, hopefully this year. I might be coming back soon-ish. Hopefully this
Question
summer,
mark?
I'm hoping I can come
haven't-
back this summer at like somewhat normal time again, finally.
We still have your chair here, completely untouched, and then cuts to the chair and it has a bunch of spider webs on it.
That's fine. That's fine. I totally understand. But yeah, basically, long story short, things seem to be stabilizing now. I've kind of gotten through most of the humps. One last big hump, and hopefully this summer I should be back. Should be sort of normal and basically going forward in my own time. So I'm looking forward to that. And also I'm buying Ghost Stories on Blu-ray from Right Stuff Anime / Discotech. So
Yay.
Yay.
Logan has another one.
Yeah, right.
He got me to buy the Gunbusters Blu-ray.
I bought-
he
He
had a
got
gun
me
in
to
my
buy
head.
the Evangelion box set.
Same here, dude. As soon as he mentioned that to me, I literally bought it as soon as he told me.
If it makes you guys feel any better, I just bought it for a fourth time because I just bought the UK release.
You get the discount, man, since you work for
No,
this
I
show.
don't. That's just it. I don't get any discount. I pay full price for that shit.
I'm messing with you.
I wish I got
Messing
a
with you, brother.
discount.
But no, honestly, like Discotech, they have been some of the best Blu-rays I've bought in my anime collection. So again, Logan, I
Agreed.
and I love Discotech. Not to shamelessly plug you and really kiss your ass, but no, seriously, Discotech is awesome when it comes to Blu-ray releases. Highly recommend them. They haven't done wrong throughout all the purchases I have had made on Blu-ray. So,
We try because we care.
yep, thank you, Discotech.
I think Logan and Phantom have still yet to plug.
Yeah, so you can find me at Schmolus1 on Twitter, and there's a whole bunch of other platforms, but honestly, just go to Twitter and click my profile, and my pinned tweet is my link tree to the other places, which is a lot easier to figure out what the hell my accounts are there. So really just use that, and if for some reason you're listening to this and Elongated Muskrat has already destroyed the bird site, well, you snooze, you lose.
Yeah. All right. Hi, I'm the person who does Toonami Squad Gaming Zone. That totally does not get promoted all the time. But seriously though, you can follow me at Fanstar64 on Hive. I refuse to talk about the Bird app in front of Elon Musk.
Don't worry, Elon isn't here.
Yeah.
Elon's not here. He can't hurt you, therapist.
and then slowly in the background. Are you sure about that?
No. But if you want to follow me on Twitter at Fanstar64, that's fine. Even though I'm probably gonna just go to Hive full time. And TS Gaming Zone on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. We're playing. What are we playing? River City Girls 2, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, and we're actively looking for a replacement for Nier Automata since the numbers aren't doing so well.
Ma'am.
Hey, not my fault. People don't want to play Nier.
Thank you, Logan. Thank you.
Again, the less said, the better.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Wait, hold on.
You should have also put Silver Loves Maiden Biss.
Oh man, you should have told me that. I
I didn't know you were doing that.
But yeah, and youtube.com/Fanstar Productions. I'm slowly trying to get back into my personal channel. But yeah, that's about it. And just watch our streams.
One other thing I do want to plug now that Phantom mentioned it. I don't want to guarantee because it is so rare that I do this, but I'm also trying to stream again. Steven is backing me as I try to play Kingdom Hearts. And it is rare that I stream. I can really only find like pin perfect moments to do that. Honestly, if we weren't recording a podcast tonight, it would have been a good time. But
Yeah, probably would have.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having fun coaching you on it. No,
I'm enjoying watching
many of my friends on Kingdom Hearts getting into it for the first time.
I always have a streamer curse to where like I could have my settings perfect, but just either it never works or it works for like an hour and then it starts like screwing up. I don't know. I just hate seeing that red square on OBS.
Yeah, but
and it
anyway,
happens like
It
instantly.
stresses me. It stresses
But
me
yeah,
out.
anyway, it is midnight here on the East Coast. It is Saturday, February 18th, which means we are less than 24 hours until Toonami.
Woo! Less than 24 hours from a DC night. Silver does love Main Abyss. Why does it look so choppy compared to before?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Oh, there it is.
Gotta get that buffer in.
All right. Well, I guess that does it for another episode of Toonami Squad Sessions podcast. I have been your host, and hopefully this doesn't get outdated within the next week.
It will.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. Bank
And
on
hopefully-
it. It will.
And hopefully we'll see y'all again in, I don't know, maybe like give us like half a year. We'll come back, or maybe
Who
next
knows?
month.
And who knows? I might be back on.
I will definitely try to be back on a little more often this year than the last like 2 years. That's for sure. So
All right.
at
Well,
the minimum. So
y'all take care. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.
catch you later, guys. Good to see you again.
Stay gold.